Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Hack-A-Mall. This is our winter 2021 season, and we're doing the evergreen framed art. We're not doing a ton to it, but it's
it's a medium.
It's a little bit of a surprise for me. He's going to show us exactly how to do this. I have an idea of what it is. All I have to say, it has twinkle lights and it's awesome.
I mean, I love adding electricity to things, so I'll have fun with it.
Yeah, and it's cute. It's cute as hell. Okay, so if you're a first-time watcher, welcome, and remember to subscribe so you get notifications and like this video. If you are coming back to watch another Hack-A-Mall, thanks for joining us again. Tell us in our comments how much you're liking our Hack-A-Mall so we keep doing them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah? Good luck getting back from you guys.
Okay, so I see a bunch of stuff here, and we're gonna...
So let's dive.
Yeah? Our materials?
Yeah, so let's start with the materials. I'll go from this way to this way. We have a drill here, a normal screwdriver that fits these little ones here in the back is what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So you need that. I have two kinds of wood glue. I like Type-On just because it's what I have in the wood shop, but if you have one of the more crafty type wood glues, either one is fine. We also have some hot glue gun. It's not a crafting project without hot glue gun.
That's right.
Some white spray paint, because again it's me and I love spray painting everything. And then we have these little lights. I got, so these are fairly cheap, especially if you're buying them around Christmas time. I got the fancier one that has the programming modes to it, because like why not? You're gonna go through this effort, spend the extra $3 on getting a nicer effects light. So it's
fun twinkle lights.
Yeah, and you also want a little power to them. You don't want anything that's like too dull. So I like a nice set of twinkle lights. And then most importantly, we have a frame. So I went with a style that worked with my house more. So you pick whatever works for you. That's kind of like why we're doing this. We're gonna modify our frame to be more to the home. That's what I went with. And
so what we're doing is changing up the frame with a new frame, and we're adding twinkle lights to the evergreen framed art from winter 2021.
Yeah, so the idea is to add some lights, change the frame, and turn it into no longer a hanging piece, but more of a leaning piece with some lights and everything that could be really nice for the room.
Okay.
All right. So the first step we're going to do here is going to be to remove the little hanging hooks that came with the frame.
Okay.
If you want to do that, it's already set to reverse.
All right. And we're doing this because...
So we're doing this because we're actually going to flip this piece upside down. The beauty is... Well, I'm going to wait for that.
I always want you to talk when you're...
I know, I gotta talk over the drill.
Alright, so you'll let us know. Okay.
So the cool thing here is that this is a CNC cut design. So the front and back is basically the same. It doesn't have the little beveling, but it's very similar, so we can use the back of the piece. One of the other steps is going to be to remove this sticker here, so we'll do that really quickly. That was easy. All right. So I'm going to take some blue painter's tape. You don't have to do this if you get paint on the frame. It's not the end of the world. It's just to keep it cleaner. I'm going to painter's tape over the lighter wood and leave only the MDF here exposed.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so protected.
All right. So we just blue taped it. It's protected. We're gonna take it outside now and give it a quick shot with the white spray paint. Now it doesn't have to be white. If you have a color that you like, if you want to match a room in the house, whatever, you can switch it up, whatever you want.
Any quick tips on spray painting?
So we have other videos, especially if you go back to our fall candlestick hack, where I specifically show my spray painting technique. But the goal is you don't want to hold and spray something with the spray paint. You should always start pressing away from your item and pass and let go and spray and pass. That motion allows for like even coats, and it's always better to do 2 light coats versus one, like trying to cram it all in one shot. Because if it gets too wet and thick, it can drip, the paint can kind of cure unevenly, can crack, lots of thin coats will give you the most even, professional looking coat.
Yeah, I love those tips. I learned a ton from you. Yeah.
No, spray painting, I'm telling you, it's the most professional, best way of approaching it. And just a total side note here, just because I'm looking at the piece, if you do have any markings or the holes from the nail gun, what you can do for that is actually, so there's two options. You can use like a little bit of wood putty to cover those up before you paint it, or you can just use like a wall repair, like a putty, I guess also. Either one of those, if you want to get any of the nail holes that are a little further out, or if these are going to be showing from your frame, test it first, and then you'll see if you need to cover them up or not. I think if we have it, we might as well just cover it up. And I'm going to go with the wood putty.
And I'll spray paint.
And this will paint just fine. You can, the way to do this is you apply it, let it dry, and then just go back and sand it out. I'm going to sand it with probably like a 220. But if you're careful when you're applying it, you might be able to skip the sanding too. So I'm going to go just with my finger and apply a little bit. And I'm supposed to wait for this to dry, but... So we plugged up the holes, and now we're going to take it to paint.
Okay.
So
while you were out painting, started playing with the Twinkle Lights.
I mean, they're great. And
I couldn't help myself.
We have 8 settings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it has 9 settings.
Yeah. Well, off.
Oh, off.
Yeah, I figured off. We'll count that as a default. So yeah, what I went to go do is actually just paint this. It's painted. We're gonna take the blue tape off, and we're gonna jump into the next step. So let's do that really quickly. I forgot to mention, but we're also gonna need a hot glue gun for this part. So I'm gonna lay my frame down here, upside down. All good.
And then this is the part for the Twinkle Lights.
Yes, so we're gonna take our Twinkle Lights here, and we're gonna be gluing them on the inside of the frame. Now, before you just start gluing, it's good to measure out. I got 2 sets because I wanted a little extra light on there, not just one set. I thought it wasn't gonna be enough. And see the distance. My goal is going to be to not only outline the border of it, but to also get into the trees a little bit and do the inside of the trees as well, along with the full outside. So we're going to show you guys some close-up shots of how we're going to do that. But first I'm going to untangle my lights here, because these do get pretty tangly. While Claudia's finishing to untangle these.
Yeah, this is
these wiry ones can get a little wiry.
As you can see, it took us quite a bit.
Also, when you're working with these, careful, because if you do break, like you'll see there's 2 wires here. If you accidentally break one, you'll turn off all the lights that follow. So just careful when you're handling it a little bit. You'll also see it comes with about this much lead. We're going to leave that. We're going to start from here just so we have a little bit of space to hide this if we want to. Right? So the way I'm going to do is just put a little dab of glue, and I'm trying to get a little closer to the edge so that it's, because these aren't super bright, so I want them to be shining, so I'm going to get them, like a 1/4 inch off the border. So I'll just start with a little dab of glue. Like that, and I don't want to put the LED right in the middle, I'm going to go with the wire right before it. Like that. And just wait for that to cool off.
And so you're going to go all through the little trees and all around the frame.
That's the goal.
We might need both.
Yeah, I think both will add.
And it'll really make it like a lighted up
Exactly.
box.
Also with these little LEDs, you can see that there's a direction to it. They're kind of pointing, in this case it's pointing up.
Okay.
So that's the direction you want facing outwardly. You don't want to point them facing in, you want them facing outward.
Okay.
So the distance also, like these are the creative decisions you kind of have to make when you're doing this. The distance between the 2 lights I thought was a little much.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we have 2, so we do have plenty of lights. And you'll see here, I kind of made a U with the wire to bring the lights closer. I don't want this to be the distance. I want like an inch distance between each one.
Right.
And we're just gonna be tucking the wire up, and then we'll do a little overlapping and everything. It's a lot of wire for a little frame. And take your time, be patient. Take your time to untangle the wires, to lay them all out. Maybe do one at a time.
Yeah, and then this is part of the reason also we're using this side.
Exactly. That's why we flipped it over, to hide all these things in the 1/2 inch space we have here before the frame.
Awesome.
So we're gonna just go through this really quickly, and we'll show you what it looks like when I'm done.
Awesome.
I took the hot glue gun, I applied the LEDs. Before I show you guys how I did that, just note you can do this much simpler. You can get a shorter LED light. You can get like those chubby ones with the plastic covering on it that you can just adhere to the edges much easier. I took the difficult route.
Yeah, but this looks way cool.
Yeah, so this is how I did it so that I could outline all of the trees and everything that we have. And I'm going to show so B camera can see it. When it goes up against the wall, whatever color wall it's against, lighter walls are obviously going to bounce the light back a little better.
Yeah, it creates a little light box.
And this is why I wanted the ones with the special effects. So you can kind of do this here, and then the goal is going to be we're going to be applying our frame to it, and we have our setup. And if you want, you can also place another LED strip on this inside too.
Yeah.
I thought it didn't need it, so I went with this.
So it's almost like two hacks. The first one is just the LED.
Yeah.
And, well, painting it. So
painting it and LEDing it.
Because you could still sort of display it like this.
Exactly.
And then we're going to change the frame with this new
We're just going to be framing it with a frame that matches more of our style.
Yeah.
That goes with our home or whatever.
And it gives it more depth.
Exactly.
I think the lights look super cool.
Yeah, so how to adhere this frame, there's a couple ways of doing it. You can hot glue gun it, you already have the hot glue gun out. We're not going to be hanging this frame, so it doesn't need a lot of structural help. Or you can go with the wood glue. We can do the wood glue. When you do glue it, especially with the wood glue or something else, you want to put some weights down on it. A couple heavy books will work. I have here for us, because we're in the studio, I have some bags of sand that we can just place on the corner and have it weighted down.
And how long does it take?
So it depends on the glue you're using. Read the instructions. So this is I don't know how long they want on this one. 30 minutes on this one. This one probably be a little bit more. Yeah, 30 minutes, but 24 hours to cure.
Right, okay.
And this is pretty instant. So you know the glue you're using, pick accordingly and how much time you have. Maybe you spend too much time like I did on the LEDs, and you just want to hot glue gun it and call it a day. Yeah,
I mean, the intricate LED work looks really, really cool. Yeah. So it's about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It took me about I'm going to say 2 hours.
How good the show is you're watching.
Yeah, and also I just put, like, whenever I put a dot of hot glue gun, I'll just put my finger right down on it to make it like flat and cool off a little faster. I don't expect people to do that. That's just me. You can just put a little bead, give it a second to cool off, and go to the next one. Take your time.
Take your time.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
So we're going to glue this on, and then we'll show you guys how it looks completed.
All right.
That was our hack here.
Yeah.
Our last winter hack.
It looks amazing.
I hope you guys like it. I mean, it's...
Yeah, and then you lean this
you can see it with the background
on your entryway table, hide the little boxes in the back.
Exactly.
I think the frame adds a really great depth to it, and
has like a nice farmhouse.
Yeah, and you
modern
can just
farmhouse feel
update it to your home.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe even if you get like a thing that says family, you can like put that on here. Like really take it to the level. Maybe paint the trees a little green if that's what goes with your home.
Right, update the color if you want to.
But this is the idea. This is the hack, pretty much.
I love it. So we've done the little animals where we've changed their color by adding felt or paper or a decal. We have done the tray hack.
Using a Cricut cutter.
Yes, that was amazing. If you missed any of our hacks, make sure that you check out our channel and find all the winter Hack'emals, winter 2021. And now last we've done this one. And check out also our Christmas box hack.
100%.
Yeah, if you want to decorate decorate it with your children.
Also had some lights on it, so we kind of
all right, so our awesome hack. Make sure that you share with us on our Facebook Deco Hacks. If you do any of our hacks or any of your own, make sure you comment below if you love what you did here, if you have any recommendations for us or anything you want to see.
Any ideas, anything you want to learn? Maybe you guys want to learn how to work with a stain or something, like a material. It could be the material that leads the hack, or it could be one of the items from the box. You guys can let us know.
And make sure that you subscribe. We have some really great spring content coming up. And
if you like to decorate your home, change it up by season. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments if you have any spring content that you would like to see. This is the time for to let us know.
Exactly.
So remember to subscribe, like this video, check out any old hack that you've missed, And happy winter season. See you guys next time. Bye.